All right, hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. Today's Monday. Yesterday it was Father's Day. I hope everyone had an awesome Father's Day. I did. It was kind of chilly out here. It's sweatshirt weather, which is odd for summer in Maine. Although I guess summer starts tomorrow officially, right? When I was a kid, it was always the 21st of June. Now it might be the 20th, which is today. Anyway, I didn't put out my normal Sunday video yesterday because I try to live by that rule. You don't put out content if you don't have content. So I actually went to a card shop in South Portland, Maine yesterday that opened up over the winter, and it's closed. It's already closed. Apparently the owner passed away, sadly, just a week or so after they opened, and I didn't know. So I stopped in, couldn't find the shop, and they still have, it looks like it's based on their web presence, still open. But my friend Sean told me that the owner had passed away. Very sad. So that was part of my day yesterday. I was also planning on going to the movies to see the new Top Gun. My wife and I went to the theater and they were sold out of seats already, which is crazy. But we got to go out to lunch and we got some ice cream, so it was a nice day. I took a nap, which was awesome. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about baseball cards of star players who are featured playing for a team on a card that they never played for. I got this idea from a Jose Canseco card that was posted in a Facebook group that I'm part of yesterday or the day before yesterday, and it was a card of him playing for the Angels. And I was like, that's kind of interesting. I wonder how many other guys have cards, stars, not minor players. Stars have cards of them playing for a team that they never actually played for. And there's quite a few there. I got 7, and then I have a handful of bonus cards here that we'll go through as well. So let's start with that Jose Canseco. 2001 tops, playing for the Angels, which is strange. Canseco played for 7 teams by my count in his career, never played for the Angels. But in 2001, he signed with the Angels before spring training, could not hit in spring training. Didn't hit any home runs, only lasted 39 at-bats in that spring training of 2001. They cut him, and then he went on to sign with the White Sox, and he actually hit pretty well for the White Sox. He played half a season in the majors, hit 16 home runs, had 49 RBIs. If he played the full season, it was a pace for 30 plus home runs and 100 RBIs. So pretty decent season from Jose. I think he was at the age of 36 there. It left him 38 home runs shy of 500. So you'd think, based on that, he had a good shot at that. But card number 2 is also Jose Canseco, 2002 tops, when he signed with the Montreal Expos. Despite only having 13 appearances in the last 3 years in the outfield, the Expos signed him to be their everyday left fielder and their DH when they played in interleague games. Probably not a great idea, but Frank Robinson was their manager at that time, 2002. Again, he was cut before the season started and actually never played in the majors again. He retired in May of that year. He's obviously played in some independent leagues. He believes he was blackballed because of his admission to steroids. Who knows? He did play well in 2001 in his White Sox time. So it was that 2001 card that made me start looking, and I found the 2002. But then I also found a 2012 tops Manny Ramirez card with the Oakland Athletics, and I thought, how did this happen? 2011, he played 5 games for the Tampa Bay Rays before he was busted yet again with a positive PED test, PED. He was suspended 100 games, and he just retired instead of serving it out. But then in September, he decided to apply for reinstatement, and then he played in the systems of the Athletics, Rangers, and Cubs in 2012. But didn't get back into the major leagues again. So you get that 2012 tops card where he's playing for the A's because of that. Right around that same time, we also have Rich Hill in 2010 on a tops Allen and Ginter card with the St. Louis Cardinals. In 2009, Hill tore his labrum, and he signed a minor league deal with the Cardinals at the beginning of the next season, or before the next season started, 2010. Really struggled in spring training. They kept him in their minor league team as a pitcher out of spring training until June, when he opted out of his contract and signed with the Red Sox. And he actually pitched fairly well for the Red Sox the rest of that year, pitching in 6 games late. I think they brought him up in September. He pitched in 6 games. The interesting thing is Rich Hill played for 11 different teams in his career and never once played for the Cardinals, but there is a card of him playing for the Cardinals. And I'm going to just pause here for a moment before getting to the next set of cards to encourage you once again to subscribe and go back a handful of videos by now, I guess. I'm announcing the winner of this 1962 post Mickey Mantle. You just need to be subscribed and comment on that video, like that video. And on Wednesday, remember today's Monday, on Wednesday, June 22nd at noon, I'm going to be selecting the winner, and I'll post that video shortly after that. So, yeah, so go and do that. And in the comments of this video, please let me know, am I missing any of these? Which of these is your favorite card, or who would you have liked to have played on your team who never did, or maybe had signed with your team? And back we go. Michael Young, very good middle infielder, mostly for the Rangers for his career. In 2000 Topps was playing for the Blue Jays. Because he was drafted by the Blue Jays in 1997, he wasn't traded until 2000, mid-season I think it was, to the Rangers. So you've got a 2000 Topps card where he was with the Blue Jays. 2003, Andre Ethier, who is, of course, well known for his time with the Dodgers. All-star, really good player. But in 2003 Upper Deck, he was with the Athletics. He was drafted 37th round by the A's in 2001. 37th round. But he opted to go back to Arizona State University. And then 2 years later, in 2003, he was drafted in the 2nd round, again by the Athletics. They really liked Andre Ethier. But not enough to keep him, because 2 years after that, in 2005, they traded him to the Dodgers, where he went on to become a very good player. Maybe the most famous example of this is the 1955 Bowman, Preacher Rowe, with the Orioles. Rowe, 5-time All-Star, and had played much of, maybe all of his career for the Dodgers. But after the 1954 season, they traded him to the Orioles, but he ended up retiring due to nagging injuries instead. So the 55 Bowman, still out there, where he's with the Orioles. So, interesting. I have a few bonus cards here. Let's start with a pretty basic one, 1969 Mickey Mantle. You're familiar with the card if you know anything about vintage. It's Mickey Mantle's final card. The back of it shows his entire career, so it's a pretty popular Mantle card because he never played again, never played in 69 or after. So the back of the card covers his entire career and all of his stats. Mantle actually knew he was going to retire at the end of 1968, but decided not to make an announcement, allegedly. I couldn't get any confirmation on this, but the rumor maybe is that he decided not to announce it until spring training of 1969, so as to not upset season ticket holders for the Yankees. Then you have the 1973 Topps Roberto Clemente. Clemente, as you know, died in a plane crash on New Year's Eve 1972. Topps, by that time, by New Year's Eve 72, had already produced his 1973 Topps card, and they decided to keep it in production. They could have stopped it. Could have been a short print, or maybe not produced it at all, but they decided to keep it as a tribute to him and his career. And it's a popular one, just like the Mantle. Here's an interesting one. This is not a real card. This is a custom fake card created by Bob Lemke, I found on the internet. It's of Jackie Robinson, 1957 Topps. Now, Robinson retired after the 56 season, never played in 57. There is no card from 1957 Topps, but Bob Lemke thought it would be interesting to just create one for fun. So after the 56 season, the Dodgers actually traded Jackie Robinson to the Giants, the hated Giants. But Robinson had actually already agreed to become an executive with chock full of nuts and retire after the 56th season. A couple of years before his retirement, in 1954 or 55 or so, Jackie Robinson had actually sold the rights to his retirement story to Look magazine for $50,000. So he couldn't tell the Dodgers, or didn't tell the Dodgers maybe, because he didn't have the rights to the story, and neither did the Dodgers. So the Dodgers traded him to the Giants, and then he had to tell them that he was retiring and he was going to work for Chock full of Nuts to become an executive there. Already had an agreement with them to retire after the 56th season. So that trade became null and void, and no card was ever produced of him in a Giants uniform or hat until Bob Lemke came along and created this, which is kind of fun, I think. And then a couple of bonuses. I don't do football cards, but you've got a Jerry Rice with the 49ers here, and a Moses Malone with the Blazers. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching.